Welcome back to Behavioral Finance and FinTech. I'm Andy Kim, and here I'm introducing you to two papers talking about the individual investors' performance in short selling. People say that individual investors cannot short sell it. That's an exaggeration. That's a lie. The thing is, individual investors can short sell, and they do, some of them, small number of them. Not everyone, man. And Kelly and Tetlock, in 2017 paper, they investigated this. And then individual short sellers they find that individual investors perform better for small stocks when they are short selling it. Okay? Of course, the individual investors are good, and they're focused much more on the small stocks than the big stocks, right? Their outperformance is not explained by individual institutional short sellings. So they are not just mimicking institutional investors. They are smart money focused on the small stocks. And one could have earned 9% per annum per year if one followed these shorting individuals, right? Now, the graph looks like this. What is this? Date 0 is the date of formulating your portfolios. Over here, what do? You sort the stocks with respect to the intensity of retail short selling volume, right? Because these guys had this retail short selling data. So the orange line is the one that showed the highest or most quintile of individual investor short selling. And then these stocks were the ones that was going up the most, surging the most over the past 1 months, right? And then if you short sell it, you're going to lose. What is that? The performance of this stock is the most underperforming. So that's why if you short the stock, you must have earned this much over the next 60 trading days, which means 3 months or something. Okay. What about the red lines over here? That's the stocks their individual investors short sold the least. So those stocks were performing good. Okay, very good. And these guys are the ones who were performing the best among the other groups. And then what about these blue dot lines over here, dark blue lines? Those are the long short strategy. Okay, longing this one and shorting that one. So you just subtract this magnitude from here. So that's why it goes down there, right? Long short strategy like this. Yeah, so that's how it works. Retail short sellers, they are a smart money, but retail is like a small group. Retail short sellers are small groups in the first place. And 이관희 교수님, 리관휘 교수님, and then 왕수봉 교수님 from Seoul National University, they also investigate the short individual investors, right? And not all individuals are created equal, right? And then they're using Korean data instead of US data like this, right? And then individual short sellers have short time horizon, they find it additionally. And then they find that 40% of them cover their short positions in a day, okay, within a day. You short sell today and cover it today. Morning and afternoon. And then 76% of them, right, cover it in a week or less. So this one includes that, right? You see the short selling horizon is short, within a week or so. Another interesting pattern they found is that the short performance is better when the short covering time horizon is shorter in ex post, right? The data says that the guys made money the most are the ones who closed their position in the shortest time. Why is that the case? Rather the question becomes like, why does the guys who close their short position longer than 1 week or like year or like months and months, they lose money? Why? Maybe a part of the reason disposition effect. Perhaps they short sold the stock, and then the price increased instead of going down. So they had to wait oh, chomba. It's like, wait. And then barely made money. Okay, that may be why, right? That's their hypothesis. Yeah, anyway. So interesting findings about individual investors. Short selling is there, right? Not individuals. It's not that individuals are all dumb monies, right? Some of them are extremely smart monies. Simply, that's just not me. It's simply just not me and you. Anyway, so transaction cost is a non-trivial issue for the short sellers. They have to think about the commissions, bid-ask spread, and price impact. Price impact is like when you sell a stock, you affect the price going down, and then buy it, and the price increases because of you, not because of the information. Okay, the price impact of your trade is another impact that you have to think about. Collateral for the short positions and overhead costs and taxes and all this kind of ramification complicates the computation. But after this, arbitrageurs doesn't even consider trade until mispricing is big enough to cover all these costs, right? So that's that. And then we're going to move down to the case study about, short squeeze, right? Two short squeeze cases. The first one is about Volkswagen, and the second one is about the famous, GameStop this year. So, first thing first, do you love Porsche, the sports car? Who doesn't like Porsche, by the way? Yeah, everybody loves it. It's a sexy car. And then round, and then beautiful, and then well-performing, right? Do you love Volkswagen design? And most of you will say yes. I have never seen anybody who hates Beetle, right? The design itself. Round and we go. Yes, there's similar things. But the design similarity, another similarity is their, the German cars, right? Another commonality between these two cars is that it comes from the same inventor and businessman called Ferdinand Porsche. Okay, he's a Czech engineer, and then this guy started Porsche in 1931 with such a great performing car with a great design. Okay, got a lot popular instantaneously. And the thing is, right? At that time, German Chancellor, right, Adolf Hitler, fell in love with this car and then, called this one and then said, Herr Ferdinand Porsche, ich liebe deiner Motorwagen. And then, I want you to make a Motorwagen for germanische Volker, right? So German people, the car for common people, please design it and mass produce it so that everybody in my, ruling, they will enjoy this kind of strong car, great car with nice design that you do it, right? So that's why the Volkswagen started, right? And then, Porsche, they had this collaboration relations for a long time, and then, parent company, son company ordered. Affiliated companies, relations happened, or it was sustained, and then one of the subsidiary famous one is Audi, and competitor of this guy is like BMW and Mercedes-Benz, right? In luxury car market, it's more common people car market, low priced ones. And then the ownership mattered over here in this story of short squeeze, right? Porsche announced to increase ownership of Volkswagen in 2008, right? To 43% to 74.5%. Before that, let me tell you about this story. This short squeeze of Volkswagen's stock happened in 2008. Now, what is that time point? 2008 is the year of financial crisis, global level. Everybody had income shock and the job security wise. It was terrible. I mean, we call it Great Recession. It could have been the world's biggest disaster, financial disaster. Could have been a Great Depression, Greater Depression. But we, curbed it somehow. But the thing is, nobody wants to spend big money on cars, right? So especially in the United States, GM and Ford, they went bankrupt in 2008. Now, if you are the stock analyst in the fund manager in the market at that time, what would you say to Volkswagen? Oh, let's look at the peers. GM, Ford, they went bankrupt. Nobody's buying it. And Volkswagen is the next one, maybe. So the valuation of the Volkswagen should be plunging down. Right. So that's why a lot of hedge funds said that they sold the Volkswagen short by looking at the competitors' pricing. Oh, it's going to go down together with them. Short selling, and that pissed off the Porsche's management over here. Oh, you short sell it? You will pay the price. Now what? They build up a scheme, like a call option. Okay, I'm not going to go into the detail of that scheme, but essentially the effect of this was like increasing their position, their ownership from 43% to 74.5% instantly in October 2008, which means about 13 years ago from now. Exactly. The thing is, the ownership of Volkswagen by Saxony government, or Sachsen province government, okay, 20.1% ownership, they already had it. They kept it in their pockets. So that means number of shares floated decreased. Okay, number of shares floated in the stock market decreased to 5.4% only compared to before. There's a shrinking down like a fraction. The share loans or lending shares disappeared, right? The short sellers, the hedge funds like Elliott Management or something, the familiar name to you, Elliott, they short sold this guy. The trouble is they had to buy it back and return it to the original owner because the ownership will increase to the parent company instantaneously, a day and a couple of days. What do? 죽음의 선착순 시작. It's like you start, the buying competition among those hedge funds who short sold that stock. Dead or alive. Increased the demand of the stock like crazy, and then the price jumped up by 5 times, okay, instantaneously. We call it short squeeze, right? So this is what happened in 2008, October at the end. And then 200 euros per share before, and then at one day, it jumped up to like 1,000 euro worth, like 5,000 times the jump in one day. And with that, some of the hedge funds was busted. And then this is the point when the Volkswagen's market cap became bigger than the ExxonMobil, and this one became the number 1 company by market share, the biggest company in the whole world at this point. And instantly they just reverted back to the original level. Somebody must have bought it at this point and got screwed, and then somebody must have made tons of money at this point by the selling to this hedge funds, right? That's life. And as it turns out, Porsche had a plan. 아들아, 너는 계획이 다 있구나. Porsche, you had a plan. And then in the meantime, right, during this process, Porsche made profit of about 100 million euros through the short squeeze. How? Here's how it comes. Short sellers must have borrowed the stocks from the brokerage houses, and then the brokerage houses in turn must have borrowed from somebody. Right? From whom? Guess whom? That was Porsche. The parent company silently lent their own stock of Volkswagen so that they will short sell it and then buy it back. Make them buy it back, right? And then, get it returned. The thing is, Porsche, they signed the contract with the brokerage houses so that the brokerages would never disclose their source of borrowing to the short sellers. It's a secret. They had to shut their mouth. You short sell it, you're screwed. They don't tell it. The hedge fund Elliott sues Porsche, and then they are in a lawsuit, but the Porsche won the lawsuit, right? Elliott did not win it. And then German billionaire, right, Adolf Merkel, right, killed himself afterwards. He was like 98th, so world's richest person by Forbes. Why did he kill himself? His hedge fund was short selling and then buying it at this point. Kill. So that's what happened. Porsche versus Volkswagen. If you go back, trace back their history. Tiger 1, Tiger 1 tank. World War II, the strongest tank in the whole world, right? Russian tanks like Thief, whatever, was surrounding this and bombarding it. But they could not crack it because they were using the thickest iron steel walls over there. Okay, Porsche tank, Porsche design. The drawback of this is that because of the thick irons, it could not cross the bridge because it was too heavy. That's that. Anyway, so the next video I'm going to talk about the GameStop story. So wait for that. Thanks for watching.